Hey there! Let's talk about something you probably do every single day without even thinking about it, brushing your teeth. But have you ever stopped to consider the incredible chemistry that's packed into that little tube of toothpaste? Well, today we're going to do just that.
I mean, really, what is that stuff? That minty paste you squeeze out isn't just for fresh breath. It's a really sophisticated chemical cocktail, and it's designed for a super important job. So let's dive in and see what's actually happening during your morning routine.
All right, so first things first. To really get why toothpaste is so amazing, we have to meet the bad guy, right? The villain of our story. Good old-fashioned tooth decay. We all know we don't want it, but what is it exactly?
So, the fancy scientific term is dental caries, but really it's just damage to your tooth caused by bacteria. See, when you eat, especially sugary stuff, the bacteria in your mouth have an absolute feast. And as they break down that food, they produce this nasty byproduct, lactic acid. That acid is the real troublemaker.
So it all boils down to this really simple but kind of destructive three-step process. First, little bits of food get stuck on your teeth. Then, the bacteria that are just hanging out in your mouth start breaking down that food. And finally, this is the bad part, they release acid that literally starts to eat away at your tooth surface. And boom, that's how a cavity gets started. But don't worry, every good story needs a hero, right? And in the story of your teeth, our heroes are called anticaries agents. These are the special ingredients that are literally designed to go to war with that whole decay process. And the undisputed heavyweight champion, the main hero you'll find in pretty much every tube of toothpaste, is fluoride. This is the stuff that goes toe-to-toe with those acid-producing bacteria. And hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Just flip over your tube of toothpaste. See that section labeled active ingredients? The very first thing on that list is almost always going to be some form of fluoride. And there's a reason for that. It's doing the single most important job, stopping cavities. So how does it actually work? Well, the best way to think about it is like a shield for your teeth. Fluoride actually deposits itself onto your tooth surface and creates this invisible protective barrier. And that barrier makes it way, way harder for acid to do any damage. It basically stops decay right in its tracks. And for the chemistry nerds out there, here's a little peek behind the curtain at how it's made. Now, I know this looks a little intense, but don't worry about all the details. Just look at that simple reaction down at the bottom. That's the chemical recipe for sodium fluoride, our powerful tooth-protecting hero. But, our hero fluoride doesn't work alone. It has a whole support crew, a team of other ingredients, and the technical term for them is dentifrices. These guys handle all the other important jobs. So, let's meet the rest of the team. So, what's a dentifrice? It's really just a catch-all term for any paste or powder you use with a toothbrush to clean your teeth. So its job goes beyond just fighting cavities. It's also about polishing, cleaning, and dealing with other common problems. Yeah, this support crew is like a team of specialists, and each one has a very specific job to do. So let's shine a spotlight on a few of these unsung heroes that you'll find in your toothpaste. Okay, first up, we've got pumice. You can see it's described as a gritty, light powder, and that grittiness is the whole point. Its job is to be a polishing agent. You can kind of think of it like a gentle exfoliant, but for your teeth. It helps scrub away all those surface stains, from coffee, tea, whatever, and it leaves your smile looking clean and bright. Okay, but what about that awful zinging pain you get sometimes when you drink something really hot or cold? Ugh, cleaning is one thing, but tooth sensitivity? That's a whole different ballgame. Well, you guessed it, the support crew has a specialist for that too. These are the desensitizing agents. Their whole job is just to calm things down. A really important one you'll see is zinc chloride. It works to dial down that sensitivity, and it can even act like a tiny local anesthetic right on the spot where it's needed most. Now, zinc chloride has this really cool and unique property. It's what scientists call deliquescent. I know, it's a mouthful, but all it means is that this stuff is so good at absorbing moisture, it can literally pull water right out of the air and turn itself into a liquid. And that unique ability is part of what makes it so effective. And we can't leave out calcium carbonate. This one is a real multitasker. Its key superpower is that it neutralizes acids. So it's not just helping to clean your teeth, it's also actively fighting back against those harmful bacterial acids. It's like having another layer of defense on your side. So when you put it all together, what do you got? That simple-looking tube of toothpaste sitting in your bathroom cabinet is actually a tiny but super powerful chemistry lab.
So let's do a quick roll call for our toothpaste team. You've got your star player, sodium fluoride, the main hero fighting off decay. Then you've got the essential support crew. Pumice is on polishing duty, zinc chloride is handling sensitivity, and calcium carbonate is doing double duty, cleaning up and neutralizing acid. It's a real team effort to keep your mouth healthy.
And really, that's the big takeaway here. The science that goes into something we do every day, something as simple as brushing our teeth, is actually kind of mind-blowing. It's just a perfect example of how incredible science is often hiding in the most normal, everyday parts of our lives. So tonight or tomorrow morning when you're brushing your teeth, maybe you'll give a little nod to all those tiny chemical heroes doing their jobs. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other amazing science is just hiding in plain sight, waiting for us to notice? Thanks for joining me on this one.